You've seen the Green Lantern and you saw a giant space cloud of fear try to eat the Earth. But what if I told you there's more to it? For years, this film has been the butt of jokes, even from its own star. But hiding just beneath the surface is a movie bursting with a surprising reverence for the comics. Number 1. The glow in Hal's eyes. We're starting with a detail that's so subtle you might think it's just a trick of the light. But pay close attention to Hal Jordan's eyes. Normally, Ryan Reynolds has his natural hazel green eyes. But when the ring's power is at its peak, there's a little something extra there. When Hal is first engulfed by the green energy, or when he's wearing the CGI mask, his eyes seem to catch the light in a different way, giving them a subtle, almost unreal glow. This isn't a dramatic color change to bright blue, but a slight otherworldly enhancement. What's the point? It's visual shorthand. It's a quiet cue to the audience that Hal is no longer just a man. He's a conduit for the ring's immense cosmic power. The glow is a physical manifestation of that energy flowing through him. It's a clever, understated effect that communicates a core piece of Green Lantern lore without a single line of dialogue, showing us that the ring is becoming a part of him. Number 2, the Tom Kalmaku makeover. Supporting characters get tweaked for movies all the time, but the change to Hal's best friend, Thomas Kalmaku, is a textbook example of Hollywood visual storytelling. In the comics, Tom is Hal's confidant and a brilliant engineer, and while his depiction has varied over the years, he wasn't typically defined by wearing glasses. The movie casts the wonderful Taika Waititi and keeps him as Hal's loyal, nerdy sidekick, but it adds the glasses. This might seem like nothing, but in film, that's rarely an accident. Glasses are classic visual shorthand for the smart one, or the less physically imposing character. It instantly sets him apart from the hotshot pilot, Hal Jordan. While comic Tom is plenty smart on his own, the movie uses this small design choice to immediately communicate his role to an audience who might not know him. It's a tiny alteration, but it's a perfect window into how characters are adapted for the big screen. Number 3, the idea behind the infamous CGI suit. All right, let's talk about the suit. The fully digital Green Lantern suit is probably the most roasted part of the entire movie. Even Ryan Reynolds has spent years making fun of it. But what if I told you the design wasn't just a lazy choice, but a deliberate, lore-based one? The filmmakers have said their goal was to create a uniform that felt alien and organic, not like fabric. The idea is that the suit isn't something Hal wears, it's a construct. It's a physical manifestation of the ring's energy, just like his giant green fists. The sinewy, muscle-like texture and the energy flowing under the surface were meant to show that this is pure willpower given form. This is why the suit forms on him out of light. The concept is actually brilliant and deeply faithful to the comics, where the uniform is just another function of the ring. The problem was all in the execution. The 2011 era, CGI just wasn't quite up to the task of making it look real, resulting in that uncanny valley effect. But the idea behind it was one of the most comic-accurate concepts in the film. Number 4, the ring's crash course. A classic problem in origin stories is how fast the hero gets good with their powers. One minute they're a mess, the next they're saving the world. Green Lantern seems to do this too, but the film gives a subtle reason for Hal's quick learning curve. After Abin Sur dies, Hal takes the ring and the lantern and recites the oath for the first time. The massive surge of green energy that follows isn't just a light show. It's the moment the ring truly awakens and bonds with him. The film suggests that once the ring connects to its power source with the oath, the user gains an instinctive handle on its basic functions. This is why just moments later, Hal can instinctively form an energy blast to defend himself and figures out how to fly, even if clumsily. The film presents the ring as a tool that grants intuitive abilities, not just raw power. While his training on OA is for refining his skills, this initial charge-up is what gives him the foundation to begin. It's a clever bit of world building that papers over a common superhero plot hole. Number 5, the ghost of the yellow impurity. For decades in the comics, the Green Lanterns had a critical weakness. Their rings didn't work on the color yellow. This was because Parallax, the entity of fear, was imprisoned in the central power battery, tainting the green light with yellow. The movie simplifies this, but it keeps the spirit of the yellow impurity alive. The film states that yellow is the color of fear, and that green willpower is its ultimate opposite. During Hal's training on Oa, he's totally outmatched. Sinestro lectures him, telling him his willpower is worthless if he can't overcome his fear. The film transforms the yellow impurity from a quirky, color-based weakness into a much more thematic conflict: fear versus willpower. Hal's entire journey is about mastering mastering his own fear of failure, of responsibility, of his father's legacy. He can't defeat Hector Hammond or Parallax until he gets his own fear in check. So the movie's version of the yellow impurity isn't a glitch in the ring, but a flaw in the user. It's a smart adaptation that makes the core conflict emotional rather than technical. Number 6, the power of imagination made real. While the CGI suit was a swing and a miss, the film absolutely nails one of the most fun parts of being a Green Lantern, creating anything you can imagine. This is one of the most faithful elements in the entire movie. Throughout the film, we see Hal's constructs reflect his personality as a pilot. When thugs attack him, he doesn't just punch them, he makes a giant green fist. To save a falling helicopter, he constructs an entire Hot Wheels-style racetrack to guide it to safety. In the final battle, he manifests anti-aircraft guns and a pair of fighter jets to attack Parallax. This is a perfect representation of how a Lantern's creations are unique to them. Where another Lantern might make a simple shield, Hal's mind goes straight to complex machinery. It's a fantastic visualization of a core comic book concept and a reminder that the film really understood the imaginative wonder that makes Green Lantern so cool. Number 7, the radical reimagining of Parallax. This is one of the biggest and most controversial changes the movie made. In the film, Parallax is a giant smoky space cloud that eats planets by feeding on fear. But in the comics, Parallax is something way more personal and terrifying. The comic book Parallax is a bug-like parasitic entity, the living embodiment of fear itself. It was the source of the yellow impurity, and most famously, it possessed Hal Jordan and turned him into a universe-threatening villain. Comic book Parallax wasn't a mindless monster. It was a character with a history tied directly to the core's greatest weakness. The movie completely rewrites this, merging the Parallax entity with the backstory of the fallen guardian Krona, who unleashed the yellow energy of fear. This decision to create a giant fear cloud was likely done to simplify the story for a 2-hour film. For comic fans, though, this stripped the villain of its personality and its deep connection to Hal. The movie's Parallax is an external threat to be punched, while the comics was an internal one that represented a hero's fall. Number 8, inspired by Secret Origin. Many comic book movies cherry-pick from different stories, but the 2011 film leans heavily on one specific modern classic, Geoff Johns' Green Lantern: Secret Origin. While not a beat-for-beat remake, the movie uses that comic as its primary roadmap. Published in 2007 to 2008, Secret Origin retold Hal Jordan's beginnings, and the film lifts key plot points directly from its pages. The movie's setup mirrors the comics. Abin Sur is attacked after learning of a dark prophecy from Atrocitus. He crashes on Earth, and the cocky pilot, Hal Jordan, is chosen by the Ring. The similarities continue with Hal's journey to Oa, his tough training under Kilowog, his immediate friction with Sinestro, and the introduction of Hector Hammond as a parallel, fear-based threat on Earth. By basing its script so heavily on this arc, the film acts as a cinematic translation of Johns' work. Recognizing this reframes the movie. It's not just a generic origin, but a specific attempt to bring a beloved modern Green Lantern comic to life. Number 9, a compressed universe. One of the greatest strengths of the Green Lantern comics is the sheer scale of the universe. It's a cosmic tapestry filled with thousands of alien species and millennia of history. The movie tries to capture this epic scope, but a 2-hour runtime means it has to seriously compress things. Think about all the massive concepts the film throws at you. The Guardians of the Universe, the Central Power Battery, and the Green Lantern Corps, an intergalactic police force covering 3,600 sectors of space. In the comics, each of these has a rich history explored over hundreds of issues. In the film, they're presented with minimal explanation to make the universe feel dense and lived in. We see dozens of unique alien lanterns on OA, from the fish-like Tomar Rie to the hulking Kilowog, but we barely learn about them. Their presence is meant to imply a larger universe existing just off-screen. This highlights the challenge of adapting such a sprawling mythology, forcing the filmmakers to give us a whirlwind tour of a universe that's far grander than the movie has time to explore. Number 10, the first human lantern. The number one detail is a point so central to the film's theme that it's easy to overlook its true significance. The huge emphasis on Hal Jordan being becoming the very first human to ever join the Green Lantern Corps. From the moment Hal arrives on Oa, he's an outcast. Other Lanterns mock him. Sinestro is openly skeptical, questioning why the Ring would choose someone from a young, chaotic species. The film repeatedly emphasizes that humans are seen as primitive, arrogant, and too emotional. This is what makes Hal's victory so important. He's not just saving the day, he's proving the worth of his entire species. His ability to overcome fear, his creativity, and his stubborn willpower are presented as uniquely human strengths. When he defeats Parallax, he isn't just winning a battle, he's forcing the Ancient Guardians to reconsider their perception of humanity. The plot isn't just the story of one man becoming a hero, it's the story of humanity taking its first step onto the galactic stage. What other hidden details did we miss? Let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching.